Hello friends, today I'm going to demonstrate about JavaScript timer functions and objects. So in JavaScript, basically everything is an object: boolean numbers, string, dates, regular, expression, arrays, maths, etc. And the timer functions execute in time intervals. So there are two timer functions: set timeout and interval. Set timeout executes waiting after a specified number of milliseconds, and set time interval repeats the execution after a certain number of milliseconds. So first I have digital clock. So how do I make this? So I create a date object, that is today. So it's accessing the hours and minutes by using today.getHours, getMinutes and getSeconds. And then I have the check time function, which adds 0 in front of the numbers if it's less than 10. So if hour is greater than 12, then it will display hours, minutes and seconds and in PM. If not, then in AM. So in set interval, start time comma 1000. So that means after every 1000 milliseconds, there is 1 second, this start time function will execute. So my output is like this. As you can see, it's running. So another one I have is change text. So as I move my mouse over it, the text size will increase. So for that I have on mouse over increment size and on mouse or decrement size function. So increment size function, so the PID of the paragraph tag, I have a paragraph. So document.getElementById pi.style.font size equal to, then I have mentioned the font size, and in decrement size also the same thing, just the font size is lesser. So my output, as you can see, when I move my mouse over it, the text size increase and then again decrease. So the next one I have is a dynamic background. So it will change the background color dynamically. So for that I have onload dynamic function. So the dynamic function I have used math.flow function for math.random function. So math.flow, math.random function will randomly change the color, and this variable is equal to set interval dynamic comma 3000 milliseconds. So after every 3 seconds this function will execute and that color will be changed. So this is my output. As you can see, it's changing its color after every 3 seconds. So the next one I have is a moving car. So it will move when I click on this button start, and stop when I click on the stop button. So for that I have to create two buttons, which on click I have start and stop function. So previously I have an image of a car in this image tag. So object is equal to document.getElementById tag name image. So this image will be stored in this object. So object.style position is relative, and left is 0 pixel, so it is at the leftmost side. There is a variable called n. So on start and stop function, the n size will increment by 2, so n plus equal to 2, and it will move, that is the margin value will increase, and so the car will move rightward. So this function has set timeout start comma 50. So the start function will execute very fast, so only 50 milliseconds. Then I have a stop function, that is on click of the stop button will work. So clear timeout, so it will stop. So here is my output. So as you can see, I have a car, and on this start then accelerate, it will accelerate, then I click on stop and it stops. So I'll show you again, start and then it stops. Okay, so the next one I have is objects. So how to create objects? So here I have some book title with author name, and I have to display them. So to create object, I have this variable detail, that is my object name, and inside this I have title, author and year. So I need not to mention the type. So I have given the values. So in the same way, I have closed the curly braces and again one more curly braces and again some of the data. So how do I get the output? So for variable I is equal to 0 using a for loop, I less than details dot length I plus plus, and it will give me the output in this id called result. So to access the object, I have details of I dot title, then details of I dot author, details of I dot year, and so on. So then I have to get the title of the book, which is previous to the year 1980 and after 1980. So details of I dot year is a simple if else statement. So if details of I dot year is less than 180, then I display the title. Otherwise, I display the title in this tag in with id old and new respectively. So this is how my output is. Okay, so here you can see one Indian girl. This is the name, then this is the author name Chetan Bhagat, and this is the year. So before 1980, I have these two books, Wuthering Heights and David Copperfield. After 1980, one Indian girl. So this is how I access my objects. So these were some of the experiments I did using timer function and objects. Thanks for watching.